All right. So the way to do the reflection is going to be a trick where we need the original animation of the airplane, and then we'll need to produce an animation that we think is kind of the right level to show it, and then perhaps apply a bit of a distortion of it or displacement based on those waves at the bottom. All right, so we'll go back to the brush keyframer, and that's really why I wanted you to not close that yet, keep it aside while we were working on the other stuff. But now we're back at the brush keyframer, and obviously we want the airplane to kind of go along this, but more from the bottom, a vertical mirror kind of situation. Exactly where that is, though, you don't want to just blindly take a vertical mirror along this middle horizontal. You want to control exactly where that's going to be. So what I would do is essentially grab the airplane, and you need to flip it upside down at this point, right? So uh, one way to do that, you need to keyboard focus on the main application, not on this sub window. And so what you can do is you can in the sidebar, if you find yourself some dark space here, click on that, and I think that will get the focus. If you enable the brush, you can see it right now. It's still in the same orientation, but if you flip it upside down with the letter Y, keyboard shortcut Y, now it's upside down. If you want to have a quick way to reach that again, you can go to the brush and store that. So you now have it upside down, pointing to the right, and that's exactly the way we need it. I'm going to minimize that, and that's just going to be our handy dandy um, upside down flying airplane. I'm going to make it also a little bit less intense. That's actually more of a opacity thing that we can control during the rendering. Let's not mess with that now. So here's our airplane. Let's go to the brush keyframer. Let's go get the brush. There it is. It's upside down. It's still the same size because we didn't change the size parameters of the brush. So it's all very good. And if we scrub through it, we'll see it fly there in addition to the existing animation. All right, so right now we can still use this existing animation as a reference, but obviously one thing we will want to do is to clear the background to white and render this airplane in the lower region to make it look like a reflection. All right, so at the very beginning, where will it be? I would probably venture about here, right? Something like that. And perhaps not that intense, so maybe a little bit less opaque, something like that. And also a slightly different rotation. No, it's actually that's pretty good, right? And let's keep it like that. All right, so at the beginning, first keyframe, add a keyframe here. That replaces the existing one. Now at the very end, we want the airplane to come close, but not that close. We still need it on the water. And it's also not showing the rotation, so we need to rotate it a little bit. There you go. All right, and perhaps that. And opacity, something like this. All right, keyframe that. So now we have what may appear to be the reflection, right, as we scrub through that. Now it's good, but it's not perfect because it's not being distorted by the waves. And we know as a reflection, we would need some distortion on that. We will do this in a separate pass, right? First, let's get this part going. And to do this, we need to render it not against the existing background. We'll need to clear the background. So go to animation, clear. So it's back to white. As we scrub through that, there it is. Let's just render that. And now that we have this, of course, we will store it. Store the disk. And now that we have this animation of the undistorted reflection, let's figure out how to distort it. So there is a displacement we can make. And the displacement can be against the same thing that we have in the background, right? That's actually where the displacement should come. It's from those waves, right? So what we do is we make this go into the background. We choose this as a swap image, and we see if there's a way to displace by swap. Now this is the one that has already the image here of the airplane. We don't necessarily need that, but I don't think it's going to hurt because we will really only have some displacement showing here in this area. right? Everything is white, it gets displaced to white. You won't notice a difference. But this one here, the black part of the airplane will be showing distorted. All right, so in the next section, I'm going to talk about how to do that.